Welcome back, everyone. This is Pixels for People, raising funds for child's play. And it's time for our next run. And on deck, we have SBDWolf bringing us into a run of Donald in Maui, Mallard for the Sega Genesis. Let's get into it.
Hello everyone, that would be me, SBDWolf. I'm running down in Maui Mallard for the Sega Genesis. Some of you might be familiar with the Super Nintendo version. This is a pretty different game, basically. It's a bit of a complicated story, but all you need to know is that this is the original version. The SNES version was made by another company, which made a lot of changes to level design and mechanics. We're gonna see basically a lot of differences. This is a very trick-heavy, glitch-heavy run, very fast-paced, zero auto-scrollers. It's amazing. With me on commentary, there's Grandius. If you so wish to, you can say hi.
Hello, hello.
And bit of a preamble, I guess. We're gonna be playing on practice mode. Basically, nothing changes between the difficulties aside from health and lives and continues, which, I mean, the game is gonna be pretty much the same if stuff goes well. There's like basically almost no strats I need to change. And with that being said, time starts as soon as I press start here on the title screen. So I'll give you a bit of a countdown. In 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, this is level 1. This is actually probably the simplest level in the run, and it's still very complicated. I guess this would be a pretty good moment to talk about some general mechanics, but first there's a frame-perfect clip here. Didn't get it. You can save like a second or two there, if you can clip through that elevator. Do you want to talk a bit about these general mechanics, Grandius?
Yeah, first off, I'd like to say some of y'all may be looking at this game and being like, what is this weird duck game he's playing? And that's the exact same thing I thought until I started actually playing the game. It's a really good game, and the speedrun is, like, amazing. It's got so much text, so much cool movement, and that's what the mechanics sort of kind of go into here. So one of the big ones is, like, when you jump, you are quite a bit slower than when you're running along the ground. So you're looking at, like, a lot of optimizations in just like trying to cut your jumps really tight and land as quickly as possible. Also, being on practice mode, Wolf does have a lot of HP, so he's able to just damage boost through this through some different sections that normally you wouldn't be able to. And yeah, another important thing that you'll see Wolf picking up is he's kind of got like this gun that shoots like some bugs, but you can collect like ammunition for like special bugs. And there's 3 different ones, 3 different types of special bugs. And what's cool is you can also combine them in different ways too, to get like special weapons, which we'll be definitely seeing a bunch of those being used throughout the run.
Yeah, first usage will be on this boss actually. We're gonna use what I like to call the cross bugs or the X bugs or whatever. We're gonna keep combining the fire bug and the lightning bug. That makes for a more powerful shot basically. Also, another tech that you can do regarding shooting is crouch canceling. There's basically, after you shoot something, there's a frame window where you can let go of the crouch button and repress it, and that makes the shoot animation faster. So we're gonna open up with some bombs here, and then switch to our cross bugs. And this is the crouch cancel in action. Doing a bit of a good job here. But yeah, that boss
lets you rapid fire like crazy. Yeah.
Alright.
Moving on into level 2, yeah. Like, Wolf will be getting to do a really cool mechanic where you get to turn into like a ninja kind of form. And basically how it works is like there's these medallions. It gives you like kind of a resource that you can expend to be a ninja form. And in that form, you have a stick, you can hit a hook. You have a dash move that uses up a lot of your resource. And what you saw Wolf do there was this, he used the hook, he jumped up, and he was able to do a double jump. Now how the double jump kind of quickly works is basically when you run out of medallions in the air, the game thinks it kind of transforms you back into like the normal Donald form, and it thinks you're on the ground for a little bit. So there's a small frame window you can like do a double jump, and he used that to kind of clip up into the ceiling and get to the next section. Now Wolf is absolutely flying through this level faster than I can explain all this stuff.
Well, I just said earlier in practice, I've never died from that clip in so long. So there we go.
Oh no. It's not that bad of a big of a deal. You respawn right there, so...
That clip only saves like half a second in the first place anyway, so...
Now, an interesting thing about this boss here is as you fight these other ninja ducks, when you kill them, the game basically is on like a frame rule system. So like it's actually every 4 seconds it kind of checks if the enemy ducks are dead, and then it spawns the next set. So you're looking at time saves or time losses in 4-second windows. So it can be pretty brutal to to kind of get like a slower kill. And these are not easy. Like, I don't think any...
Jump here.
Yeah. I don't think
Yeah.
anybody's ever gotten all the frame rules like that the task can get.
Yeah, there's some frame rules that are just absolutely like incredibly tight. So these ninjas have 17 frames of iframes every time you hit them. I know it doesn't look like it because they don't display any animations, but they have iframes and you can't hit them during that. So you have to time your attacks really, really well to be able to hit them like as soon as the iframes end for like 5 times and barely be able to get a frame roll. There are some ninjas that nobody's ever managed to get those on. Okay, level 3 has a really pivotal thing later. So I'm gonna talk a bit about it. This game is like really hard to talk over if it wasn't apparent already.
Yeah, this game is very, very technical. There's just a lot of button management because there's also like this button that transforms you to the ninja form, and it doesn't just transform you by pressing it. You have to hold it a certain amount of time, and there's all these different mechanics with that. And he's managing his medallion count at the top right so that he can get it to run out and get those double jumps when he needs. Now coming up though is going to be this mudslider skip. He's going to be trying to do some very precise
For
movement
real?
where he
I didn't get it. I got the worst outcome actually. Alright, so since I'm on practice mode and I only take few of damage from an enemy, I have to take a death to restart the level. This is a pseudo soft lock. You can't really get out of here. And just gotta slowly kill myself from these mosquitoes. So all the things that I said that I was pretty like confident about because they hadn't happened in a while are happening right now. This is marathon luck, ladies and gentlemen.
I apologize to Wolf. Before this, I was talking. I was like, do you have any stories prepared if you miss the mudslider skip and get the B soft lock?
So we're gonna restart from here. Yeah, the idea was to do a double jump over.
Yeah, it skips this whole section down
But
below.
I don't have tokens anymore, so I can't do that. And now I gotta do this all the intended way. Fall down, that creates a platform. Now we get turned into a small form here. And we have to fight our way through these.
That mudslider skip, it is pretty difficult. The frame windows are pretty tight, and as you can see, it can go bad in that way. There's a couple other ways it can kind of go wrong as well. That's fortunately the worst way it can go wrong, but yeah, you get to see mini Donald here.
Yeah, and also doors that don't work. Just imagine shooting a bomb at a door that's supposed to be destroyable with bombs and then it doesn't work. Anyway, yeah, the idea behind this section is to fight your way through this. And then every time you kill all the enemies inside a room, you get 1 bomb, which is enough to destroy 1 door. Normally, that double jump just skips all of this. Like, all of this. Like, you're at the end of the screen, like, instantly. This was the last one. Now we gotta do this maze. Unfortunately, since I had to kill the mosquitoes, I can't even go for the zip here. There is a zip that you can do by luring a mosquito. This. Just kind of damage push my way through. This is the nice thing about practice mode. This will be like pretty brutal stuff for... Yeah, that's an example of a zip. Unfortunately, I took that backwards. But the nice thing about practice mode, this would be like absolutely brutal stuff for normal mode. I can take this all.
Yeah, you'd have to actually sit there and kill a lot of these enemies and clear a path and try to survive, but yeah, practice mode is definitely really good for this. It's called practice mode, but it's essentially just like easy mode, like easy difficulty, which is pretty common, I think, for Genesis games to be run on that.
Yeah, one thing that I didn't really touch on with this game. This is a game that also happens to be known by multiple names across the world. So the name of this release of the game is Donald in Maui, Mallard, but in other parts of the world it's also known as Maui, Mallard in Cold Shadow. As a kid I just knew it as Cold Shadow. Pretty little thing. There's a long story behind that as well. Regarding like the way this thing decided to market and stuff.
Yeah, this game's got some different, interesting history. Wasn't also originally the developers planning on having Donald shoot literal bullets out of his gun instead of the bugs?
I think so. Yeah, they had to like change the gun to it being a bug gun or something.
Yeah, it ended up being a really cool system, so it's probably a good change. But on into level 4. Now this is a really cool level in my opinion. You'll just see a lot of really nice movement, making use of the ninja form. Any level with the ninja is like pretty dang cool. One thing I should mention is like when Wolf is like hitting the stick on those like hooks, those hooks are very specific. There's kind of like, I believe it's is it 5 frame windows for each like jump trajectory, Wolf, for the hooks?
Wait, can you say that again? Sorry.
5 frame trajectories for the for like each jump off the hook, you know what I mean?
I think something like that, yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, there's like these small windows, and depending on which window you hit jump at, you get a completely different jump trajectory. And a lot of these Wolf is having to hit the exact right trajectory or it will mess up his whole strat. Now he'll just be beating this boss to death, and then he'll be combining the power of all 3 bugs to do a screen nuke, which is kind of a bit of a cheese on this boss to just blow him out.
Yeah, they just for some reason forgot to make the second phase invulnerable to screen nukes, so you just kill it in one hit.
Yeah, normally those don't work on bosses. It just kind of clears out all the regular enemies, but that's one case of it working. Now this climb here is just amazing. It really shows all this movement with the hooks. Like all these have to be timed properly, or it just kind of messes everything up. You'll see him even quickly like doing some side switches. Another thing about the hooks is there's like a couple frame window. If you press jump, you just fall, so you don't even get a jump at all, and that can put you into the lava. But yeah, really good stuff there.
This is a really level 5. I was going for a tough opener there, but unfortunately, like if one thing was wrong with that strat, it's immediately all over. Yep.
Yeah. Wolf is incredibly optimized this game. That he's like the only person that goes for that opening. It's extremely brutal, but it saves a little bit of time. Everything on this level can get very out of hand with all the enemies and bees and everything that just knock you down.
Yeah, I wrote it in a screen nuke just for this, just to clear all the mosquitoes that could bother me later, potentially.
This level casually was very confusing to me because there's all these like different mechanics they introduced for just this level with all like the bungee jumping and all this different stuff. So you'll see a lot of kind of weird things going on, but
yeah, this is a pretty confusing level to follow if you've not played this game. But
yeah,
the idea is basically to just climb up, and then at a certain point there are these bungee jumping sections where you gotta like fall farther down than you've fallen to, so that you can get like a higher momentum back up, so that you can get up to higher platforms, something like that. I'm very sorry if that was confusing, but then the second half of this level is permanently on a jump bungee rope, which is extra fun, obviously. There's a cool zip here,
very fun,
which involves stepping left, right before you touch the ceiling in that little alcove. There's all little like skips that save like, I don't know, 5 seconds, 10 seconds all across this run.
Coming up soon, we have the frog boss. This is probably the worst boss of the game. Basically, you're trying to shoot these bombs into his mouth, but his mouth is like basically a super tiny square hitbox that you're trying to get the bombs into. It's super deceiving. And Wolf is going to be going for like a quick kill here, where if you do things in a very specific way... Oh, close though. You got a few hits on him, so it's not too bad.
I can go for a backup here on the right side.
This is one of those bosses in runs that if you mess it up, you could just lose like 30 seconds really easily, just because everything falls apart when it goes off script, and the script itself is like really hard.
Yeah, there's a Lua script that shows hitboxes, and like the hitboxes for this frog is literally just one small square, the size of like one of your projectiles. I'm not kidding.
It's really rough. I don't know why they made it that way, but... Now this level, the water level of the game, this is actually... The water physics is very unique in this game, in that, yeah, you move really slow, but you could shoot your gun to kind of propel you in the opposite direction. And Wolf is going to be using that to like move through the level much faster than just like slowly going through. He's also going to be going for a lot of pretty risky clips that just basically kill you immediately if you did mess him up.
Yeah, I already didn't have the setup for the first one, so I skipped it. But there's another huge one later in the level in a bit. It's right here. This one is a little bit specific.
Let's see if it gets it here.
There we go.
Nice.
That saves 20 seconds.
Yeah, normally you have to go all the way up and around. So getting that's like a really big deal, and it's a very tight clip, and you literally just clip out of bounds and die instantly, pretty much, if you mess it up in the wrong way.
There's also a bit of a hidden mechanic with the water movement, where if you hold the opposite direction of where you're going, for some reason you actually go faster. So like, I'm shooting towards the right to go left, so if I actually actively hold right while shooting right, it propels you faster.
Coming up to the hardest boss in the game.
Yep. Let's see how many cycles it takes.
Hoping for an 8 cycle.
Oh, looks like we got a 0.
Great mechanic there.
Yeah, for some reason he just dies from one hit from a bomb, which is pretty convenient. That's the reason I took that detour towards the end, because it was to pick up those bombs. All right, big
Got the all-seeing eye in the background.
Yeah.
Judges you on every mistake you make on this level.
I keep forgetting about all these things for someone who doesn't know the game. But yeah, like that eye, I'm super used to it at this point, but it's definitely like very, you know, you notice it.
Wolf just casually nailing all these really tight frame windows to get all these double jumps. Really good movement here across all these hooks and damage boosts. This is like my favorite level. This level is awesome. There's also a really crazy, the second part of this level is a really crazy like climb. And
Yeah.
you gotta love a good climb in a speedrun. It's just always so satisfying, and it's very satisfying in this game too.
Yeah, I just got the skip. This is supposed to be the only auto-scroller of the game, but they made it optional, I guess. Well, not quite. It is supposed to be like mandatory. You're supposed to escort that jar towards the top. But for one, you can just sort of ignore it and just like despawn the enemies off screen if you start climbing fast enough. And then they just left an end level area at the top, so you can just jump into it and finish it.
I'm amazed you commentated while doing that, but now on to the final boss. This is an insane boss. Wolf's going to be going for the absolute hardest strats possible, so there may be some deaths here, but hopefully not. Just a lot of really tight movement. What's great about this level is if you fall, you just literally, there's a pit, and you just immediately die. And the hook movement is very difficult. On a casual playthrough, this boss is absolutely brutal, and with the strats Wolf's going for here in the speedrun, it's very brutal as well. He did go to the right side to collect these bugs, because for some reason, if you do the left side then the right side on collecting ammo, the right side just kind of respawns extra ammo. And this is going to allow him to get essentially like a 2 cycle on this boss.
All right, we should be good here. I do need to go for the non-combo strats though, because I did take a few deaths. There's another mechanic in this game where you can collect combo tokens for combo hits, but if you die once, you lose one of them.
Yeah, the timing to this ending is pretty tight. Let's see if he's able to get it here.
I didn't quite get the actual thing a single time, but time is coming up on the fade out. Time. Sorry, I didn't warn much in advance, but...
Nice, GG.
Thank you.
Man, that was actually an awesome run. Like, that time would have been sick without the that one soft lock.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that soft lock costs like 3 minutes. It's huge. It's
There's a
actually
joke
huge.
There's a joke that it's faster to just reset the game and start over than to wait out that soft locks.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know, it might have been close, because you get to the point about 4 minutes into the run and the reset is like a little over 4 minutes. So it would have been actually that kind of competitive to just reset right there. And I might have actually had a chance at showing it off, but it's okay. It's okay this way.
Getting that last boss deathless though was just awesome, and also like commentating while doing that climb. It's like the most technical thing ever to do that.
And the thing is, like, this is one of those games with like infinite optimizations. Like basically, literally every single input can have time saves on it, because like For starters, the fact that your jump is slower than walking, so you wanna obviously like always minimize the time that is spent jumping, and then just like between like infinite cutting corners and stuff. For now, this length and the amount of tricks it has, it's absolutely just like bonkers. It's a very hard run, and it just doesn't feel like we've even like touched on like half the things that this run has to offer with commentary, because there's just like so much that is packed in like so few minutes. If this run goes well, you can finish it in like 13-14 minutes. So yeah, thank you for being in comms, Grandios. Thank you for having me. I'll be in commentary for some runs later today, but that was the run ahead for the event. Enjoy the rest of the event, y'all. Have a good one.
Yep, thanks for having me. And I'll be back around later with some Cuphead, but till then, have a good one.
Okay, SBDWolf, thank you so very much for the run. I've never actually been to Maui myself, but now, well, I guess I know better, because now between the lava spirits and the tiny ducks with spears, well, I guess I gotta be careful. Remember, folks, that you're watching Pixels for People. We've still got lots and lots to come here. We're gonna take a short break. We'll be back with some Hello Kitty Roller Rescue by Linka Meister. See you all soon.